Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Devpost workshop of Hack the World 2020. Today, we'll be going over the basics of how to submit your hackathon project for Hack the World, and we'll answer any questions that you have. So if you're joining us on YouTube Live, make sure you use that chat feature to ask us questions and connect with us. But my name is Gary Tu, the co-founder and co-director of synHacks and Hack the World. And I'll pass it over to Anne, our other co-founder and co-director.
Hi guys, so I'll be going through like a walkthrough of how to submit your project, but before I do that, I'll go through some of the main requirements and your deadline, and then after the walkthrough, you can ask any questions you have, but if we run out of time, make sure that to ask any of your questions in the Ask Organizers channel in the Discord, and we'll answer your question there later. So just to recap, the deadline for submissions is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So that's the deadline, and then I'll go through some of the requirements. So of course, your team sizes can range from 1 to 6 members, and we'll be showing how you can invite team members into your submission afterwards. So you have to register through the type form that we have here, and then you have to solve one of the 5 tracks that we have for Hack the World. So on our website, we have sustainability, which is kind of solving any environmental issue, health, which is building a technology towards the goal of accessible healthcare, education, providing education for all people, inequality, creating a solution that kind of addresses the issues of social, economic, or racial inequalities, and then finally humanitarianism, that solves issues from poverty to disaster relief, basically helping developing nations and promoting human welfare. So those are our 5 tracks, and make sure to select one of those 5 tracks as you create your submission. So of course, all ideas and code must be yours, and if you use any APIs or other code outside of your own, make sure to give credit where credit is due. And then all of the coding material has to be produced after this past, so July 18th at 10 a.m. And then you have to submit a demo video and a submission form. So with that, I'll go into how to submit. So here, if you're registered for our hackathon, you can click Start Your Submission, and then that will allow you to create a new submission. So you can post a new project, and you can call your project whatever your application's name is, if you have one. Then basically you have 200 characters to shortly describe your idea and what your project does. So you can do like any description, make sure it fits within the characters, and that's basically just like your pitch that your judges will see first when they first see your project. And then here you can basically type in any tags that you have, what it's built with. So if it's built with Python, you can do that. Java, any APIs and hardware. So like if you're using Echo, you can type that as well. And then I'll say create by your own account, and we'll be showing how to create your own Devpost account if you haven't already. And basically here you can invite your team. So this is where if you have team members, you can share this link and copy it and send it through like any text message, whatever, to your team members, or you can email it to them. So if I email like this, then it'll send an invite. And then here, you can describe your project in further detail. So basically Devpost has these like basic subjects that you need to fill out. So you fill out like basically what inspired your project, the functionality of your project, how you built it. So go through your process, any challenges you ran into, accomplishments that you're proud of, things that you've learned, and then what's next for your project. And this will be done using Markdown. So you can click on this hyperlink, and it'll basically show you a tutorial on how to use Markdown. But it's pretty, it's relatively simple. Basically, like these hashes kind of denote like headers, and then you can just type here, and then you can do dashes for bullet points and so on. So you can click on this link to learn more about Markdown. But just make sure to fill all these out, and judges will be reading that in order to judge your project as well. And then next you have image galleries, so you can take any pictures of your project and basically drag them here. So just make sure you look at these requirements. And then there are other, so you can have a URL for a GitHub repo if you have code for your project, a demo site, etc. Like if you're creating a website, you can type in its URL here, and then you have a video demo link that you can put your YouTube video to show your demo video. So if I save this here, this is basically, then it shows, it basically saves your submission, and then here you have a required video demo. So you put your link here if you haven't done so previously, since for our hackathon it's required. So if I, again, we'll go to YouTube, and then let's see. Then I select a video. Maybe I'll just
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our daily outlook today for July 23rd.
And then I can basically paste any YouTube link here. And then you can upload files if you'd like as well. If you have any files, there's a zip file of your code that's not on your GitHub repository, you can select that as well. And then here we have sponsor and special prizes. So the only one we really have is the best use of Echo AR. So if you want to qualify for that prize, then make sure to click this. So if you've used Echo AR, click this. Otherwise, don't select that. And then we have our 5 tracks here, so that's a required question as well, and you'll just pick the track that you're on so that we can judge your project accordingly. And then here we have some of these checkmark questions to make sure that you started this project no earlier than when you were supposed to start coding, and that you're officially registered for Hack the World 2020 through our Typeform. And then just agree that you have read the official rules and the terms of service, and then you can complete your submission here. So once you have that, it'll basically create a submission to Hack the World 2020, and your video will be displayed here. That's the first thing I'll show. And then all of your kind of marked down answers to these questions will be down here. So with that, I'll show you guys how you can add people to your team. So like I said, you can either copy the link that's given to you and send them to your teammates, or you can send them through email. So I'll go to my email here since I invited myself through my other synHacks account. So it should pop up.
You invited .com instead of .org.
Is it .org?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then here you can add team members here. Okay, well, you can still copy the link here, and then I'll log out of Devpost on this account. And then basically if you type this in, it tells you that you need to sign up or log in. So if you haven't signed up for Devpost yet, you can sign up for an account here at the bottom, and then you can sign up with Google or with any of your emails or social media, and then I'll sign up through here. And they'll answer, they'll ask you a few questions. You can click whatever. You can type in your skills here. I'll just make this. And click continue. and then you're automatically added into your into this submission team. And then you can describe your contribution. So say that you worked on the back end or you worked as a designer, you can type that in here and it'll show to the side for the judges as well. So that's basically how you submit your project. And then I'll go through the judging criteria for our Hack the World hackathon. So if you scroll down here, these are the 6 judging criteria that we have. So first is originality. So has this project been done at previous hackathons, or does this project already exist? How creative is their project in solving like the global issue that you're trying to solve? And then we have technology. So how technically impressive was it? Like what technologies did it use, and how complicated was it to create? And did your team use any clever techniques or like use multiple components in your application? Next, we have design. So did your team put thought into the user experience? Is it easy to like use? Is the interface like I guess like easy to navigate? And then completion, does the hack work? So this is where making a complete app might be better than creating a prototype. So did the team achieve everything that they want? Does your app work to its full extent? And then learning. So that's just like how much did you learn throughout this entire process throughout this week? And that's where your responses may matter the most. So like what did you learn? And if you describe that well, then it'll give you more points for this category. So did the team stretch themselves? Did they learn something new? And like basically, did they utilize all the resources that were given to them this week in order to learn something and create a new project? And then lastly, we have adherence to the theme. So did this track adhere to the track that they chose? So if you did health, but you created an application that was not very related to health, then this obviously won't give you any points. So those are the 6 judging criteria that you have to keep in mind when you're creating responses and your demo video. And basically, our judges will be looking at your Devpost submissions and judging them through that. So if anyone has any questions, I'll take them now. Okay, so someone asked, if we want to submit code, are we allowed to do so through GitHub? And if you did 2 tracks? Okay, first question, yes, you're allowed to submit your GitHub repo. So let's see, manage your submissions here. So if I can edit the submission and basically add a try it out URL. So here you can submit your GitHub repo and it'll show up on the submission for your judges to see. And then if you did 2 tracks, you have to select one track for you to be judged in. You can't win both tracks. So basically just pick the track that you think it adheres to the most or that you have the highest chance of like doing well in. So you just have to select one track. Are there any other questions? Oh, the length limit. So for the demo video, you'll have a maximum of 5 minutes. If you go over that time, then your judges will stop watching at 5 minutes. So make sure that it's under that amount of time. Okay, if there are no other questions, then we can basically wrap it up. It's pretty self-explanatory. Just make sure that you're registered for our hackathon and that you add your team members.
Mm-hmm. And in order to actually have your submission be viewed, you need to make sure that you're officially registered. Just being registered on Devpost doesn't mean you're actually within our system. What you have to do is make sure that you're registered within our type form, which you find on the top right corner of the page. And we are submitting, and we are accepting some late registrations. So if you do have a question and if you're interested, make sure to reach out to us at hello@synHacks.org. And if you're a hackathon attendee and you want get that Devpost link, it's listed pretty much everywhere in Devpost. So just, not Devpost, Discord. So just take a look. It's an announcement channel. It's in the rules. It's probably in getting started. So just dig around, and we'll also post it in announcements too. And are there any other questions? Let's see. Looks like we have no more questions. So that's pretty much all that we have. If you have any questions, make sure to ask us and ask organizers. And that's pretty much all that we have. Thank you and have a great day.